All right, it is 5 past 5 here in sunny South Africa. This is Paul behind the BitMobile account. I am the marketing director this side, and I must say it's great weather. It's good to be in the continent of Africa and not currently in the US of A, where my two co-founders are from, where they're freezing. But yeah, it's great to be here, and I just want to welcome everyone in. Today's space is pretty cool. As you can read, it's the AMA, Access to Education for the Next Billion with Vengie. And yeah, it's just like we've got some heavy hitters here. Vengie is really a shining light when it comes to education, especially for blockchain. And he's a large man, and his impact is just as large or even bigger. And it's really, really good to have him here. And also, we have Mr. Chris Benedict, our co founder and COO for multiple companies. This one, of course, being BitMobile, and followed by Brian Moore, the CEO and co founder of also all the multiple companies, and also a good, innovative visionary. So, yeah, so great to have everyone here. First of all, let's begin with Chris. Chris, how are you doing today? How's it like? What's it like in New York City?
Thanks, Paul, for that really great introduction. I don't know New York City because I'm a little bit north of there. I don't know what it's like there. I'm sure it's bright and cold. It's quite cold where I am today. It's just above freezing centigrade. It's about 36, 37 degrees. But it's a bright, sunny day, and it's great to be here to talk about education and how we think that's going to impact the coming years and coming decades.
Amazing. Vengi, how are you doing today? Where are you speaking from? And tell us an interesting fact that's happening today in Africa.
Hi, great. Thank you so much. Live in Zimbabwe. The weather is not as good as we were expecting it. Busy with the work each every time, the blockchain, pushing the blockchain narrative, because we know this is where the billions lies on. We know this is where definitely wealth is gonna come from. This is where it's a technology that nobody's supposed to actually ignore. There's so much innovation within that is happening, which actually needs people to pay more attention. As they pay more attention, they take time to understand it as well. In any technology that comes, especially in this blockchain, it's not a 1 day thing. It's not a 2 day thing. It's something that you build. How do you build? You actually have to put your education effort to learn each and every time. So yeah, to me, Africa is growing. Africa is pointing towards to the focal point which we've been expecting back then. Because if you look at it, we kind of led in this technology. So we need to push more, and we need to focus much with all our energy to make sure we capitalize on what we missed out. There's so much events happening in Africa, especially on the blockchain, looking at the stable coin community that is creating other things, looking at rewards coming out of the blockchain, which to me I say is free. Back then they were free, and just easy. Nowadays, due to the mainstream that is happening, you need to make sure your technology is sharp, your technology is ahead of another person's technology. So hence, it's going to take a little bit while in the process of building. And in that process of building, definitely it needs community. Blockchain is just like a class of a society that has been created to say, hey, come on, if the society comes together in the blockchain community, there's no much money that is needed, but just the power of the community, then you're good to go. You're good to learn, you're good to earn, you're good to change your life, you're good to change everybody's life, whereby we live in a community whereby everybody affords bread, whereby in a community whereby everybody can be rewarded $5, $20, an amount, bit by bit, until you make whatever amount that you want to make. To me, I always talk about creating wealth when it comes to blockchain. And yes, we still got the opportunity, we still got time. And definitely we're gonna make it. When? That's the main thing that Africa focuses on when you tell them something, when you introduce them something. Vengie, when exactly do you think I've got $1,000? Vengie, when do you think I'm gonna make it? It's different from back then. Where we missed it, whereby definitely that back then we were introducing people, telling them this and that, but people were ignorant, people were not listening, people were not paying attention. But proving results coming from another person, now people want to actually jump in. So results will definitely come, but like what I always say, education, education. Don't skip the learning process. Yeah, thank you, Paul. That's what I can say. That's my intro.
Hey, I love the intro. Thank you, as always, Vengie. Such insightful things that you share with us. And yeah, really looking forward to expanding on all those topics. It's going to be really, really cool. Next up, we have Mr. Brian Moore. Please, Brian, can you just tell us how you're doing, where you're calling from? I know you most likely in Missouri or Missouri, probably with this time of the year. So please let us know how's the weather there, what's cooking.
Yeah, thank you, Paul. For those of you that are listening now, Paul's having fun with me because it's been very cold here. And we are in our winter months in the United States. So my heart goes out to all of you in Cape Town in that nice warm weather, or over in Joburg or Durban. We have people here from Nigeria and Kenya and Tanzania, Zambia. Welcome our family from Zambia. We have people all over the place. We're very excited to have you guys here in the AMA. I would like to take a minute, Paul, and just in our tradition, say thank you to our mega influencers. We have such an incredible team. Crazy Susie, Viv, Nick, Kismet, Rob, Dagenslayer, Dagonaut. You guys will recognize Dagonaut. Um, there's so many great people, and these are the ones you guys will meet when you go into the different channels. So you could be in Telegram, you could be in Discord, you could be talking to somebody on X, formerly Twitter. You'll run into some great people, and they're all there. They're designed to help you, to answer your questions. There's a lot going on between the Phēnix X, the phone, the tablet, the watch, the BioFi token, many different conversations. So we're very excited about working with all the questions and the people that are coming into the channels. It's great to hear Vengie's voice. I'd love to see Vengie again in person, and we will do that here shortly. And just give out a big shout out to his community, the Big Five token community. What a great community. It's amazing what Vengie is doing there. We're very impressed with all of that. And being that today our conversation is on education, Paul, I am very excited to talk about education. This is something that is so near and dear to our hearts. We really believe in education. It's something that, even as kids growing up, it's so important. It's integral to everything we've ever done. And we're so excited to talk about that here today. So thank you, Paul, for this opportunity, and for all the great communities that are here listening today. We really appreciate it.
No, thank you for that intro, Brian. And yeah, education is such an interesting topic at the moment. Like, a lot of people will probably say, like, oh, they're talking about education. I didn't like maths in school. or stuff like, uni was hard. I had more fun chilling with my friends. But at the moment, education is at an interesting point when it comes to technology. For example, let's take blockchain. If a few years ago there was no university or school program that was speaking about blockchain because the technology is so new, because there was no lecturers that actually understood blockchain as people do today. And now we are already on AI. A lot of prompt engineers are coming to light, and not too many people know about AI prompting, like how it can change your life. There's a few courses on prompt engineering, but even those courses are not yet well developed. And yeah, like I feel education has really turned into something that if you're not plugged into the internet and getting all these updates live, then you're already behind. And it's a constant learning that happens the whole time. So with that in mind, I would like for Chris, for Vengie and Brian, I would like to hear what is your view on the importance of education globally? Because it's a really big thing. Like education looks a bit different from the US to Europe to Asia to Africa. And then in each continent between the different countries, education looks different. So I would love to actually hear what's it like in the United States and countries that you visited, because I know you've been to Asia quite often, Brian. And then Vengi, from your perspective, you've been, I know, to Singapore and to all these different countries as well, and you're mostly in Africa. So I would love to hear what is your view on education globally. Chris, can we start with you, please?
Sure. Thanks, Paul. Well, why does education matter globally is a great question, because education itself acts as an equalizer. It probably is the greatest equalizer in the modern world. Digital skills and knowing how to engage in the digital economy and digital space determine access to jobs, to income, and really is the gateway to entrepreneurship, to people starting their own opportunities, creating their own opportunities in businesses, and charting their own path through life. So in developing nations particularly, millions of people have been excluded, not due to their lack of talent, but to their lack of access to reliable power, electricity, access to education, access to technology. So BitMobile focuses on the technology, because when you marry tech with the education platform attached to the Phēnix X and the XT tablet, right? The technology combined with education equals opportunity. So the Phēnix platform really is a lot more than just a phone. It's a learning platform. It'll allow people to access job skills, education, and become an earning tool, a gateway into that digital economy. So really, education, technology is the key to education and progress in the future. So I think we are really well positioned there. And with Vengie's focus on education in his community, we are so closely aligned that education and technology together will bring the opportunity that people are looking for, in addition to the traditional channels that are out there. So I will leave it right there, Paul, because we could talk all day on this, and I want to give my co-host a little chance to jump in on that.
Yeah, thanks for that, Chris. Yeah, that's great. Venga, I'd love to hear your thoughts.
I agree. Looking at education, definitely that's a key point, right? And education comes in different ways. We've got practical, we've got theory. Actually, nowadays, looking at nowadays how the world is prior to education, look at back then, before we come today. Almost all of us who are here, we actually have got a profession. Probably we went to school up to university level. So you just ask yourself, how long did it take you to be where you are right now, or until you got the job that you are working right now? It took years just from grade one, right? To be like up to university. It was a learning process. You spend the rest of your life learning. So it's the same. Now people comes the blockchain technology. People want to earn without learning. But this learning of blockchain is something that is easy, something that is not even complicated, something that is just as simple as ABC, as 1, 2, 3. Why am I saying so? Looking at little bit back a while, when BTC, Bitcoin, it wasn't crypto by then, it was just Bitcoin. When the technology of blockchain and Bitcoin started, we were mining Bitcoin on a phone. We were mining Bitcoin on a computer. But again, we can't say it was easy because many people didn't have the access or knowing much about internet, which many people were calling IT, all right? Some people didn't even know how to use a computer. Some people, the phone itself, it was scarcity, which brings me to a point whereby I say, always look where the world is going, focus and learn towards what the world is introducing to you. Most people were disadvantaged to mine Bitcoin. Imagine it's something that was just free to mine Bitcoin, and you would have mined thousands, if not millions, because it was an everyday thing. But again, if you look at those computers now, there was an upgrade to say, oh, okay, this works faster. This computer works faster because it's a core this, isn't it? That's the same innovation that we're talking about. But nowadays, to me, this education that we're talking about is so simple, so easy. It's not something that requires you to go to grade 1. It's not education that requires you to go to university or to college or anything. But mind you, if you keep delaying, if you keep sleeping again, you will end up paying for this education in universities. You will end up paying for this education or spending much for you to get accessibility to the blockchain that enables you to earn. Right? I hope you understand what I'm saying. Because if you look at it right now, to me, how easy it is. Back then it was easy, but like what I said, people didn't have access to the computers, this and that. But now it's our everyday life. Everybody needs to use a computer. Everybody needs to know about internet. Everybody needs to. You can't survive your life without that internet. The blockchain that we have today, which is our life that we are living today, because we used to say blockchain is the future, Bitcoin is the future. It is what we are living right now, which made easy, because everybody, for them to live their everyday life, they need a cell phone. If they need that cell phone, there is a lot that you can do with a cell phone for you to take advantage of any technology that is there. Many people now are talking about monetization, Facebook, TikTok. But the moment it was introduced or anything, it was way, way easy. Nowadays, it's somehow difficult, isn't it? Which also takes me to say, look at the blockchain. We now have what used to earn using your phone or just keeping your phone just for you to earn on this blockchain, or just playing around with your phone to know what's happening in the world, knowing exactly everything. The news is everywhere, it's on your phone, which is to me still the education, which is very, very important, whereby a person who is in rural areas, a person who is under the water, a person who is in a flight, because you can put a flight mode and then you connect to the Wi-Fi when you're in a plane going wherever you're going. When you're in the sea, wherever you're going in a cruise ship, you can still you can still get access to what is called, you can still get access to internet, isn't it? Internet is now everywhere, which allows you to get the education, to get access to what's happening in the world at any time. So to me, education is easy right now because every group every group stage can be able to learn, no matter you because our kids now knows how to use what is called to use a phone, which give them access to be already by the time they will grow up, they would have earned something, royalties or anything, whatever they are earning. And this was being brought with what is called with the blockchain. So to me, everything is in our plate. It's just up to us to just take the food that is in the plate and eat. So I talk about also the importance of education to say it is very important. When you learn something from somebody, try to access it, try it, try to see how it works. Don't ignore it to say there's a certain group of people. No, this is our normal life. This is our everyday life. Everybody is living blockchain life every day. I was in this blockchain summit that happened in SA. All the fintechs, everybody was there. Payment solution companies, almost every company was there. Meaning to say it's important. You get what I'm saying? So you knowing this is what is happening, which you can access on your Facebook, which you can access in internet to say this is what is happening. Also focus there to say why is this happening? Why people are coming in together? We've got no way because just now FNB announced to say what did they talk about XRP as a payment solution? Yeah, I think so. As a payment solution about XRP, people were celebrating. And then I posted or I tweeted to say, why are you celebrating? Because you are already an end user. Because you were supposed to be an adopter or actually to contribute to what people does through the XRP blockchain by you having those coins, by you being part of the of what is called confirming the nodes of blockchain, so that you confirm the transactions of for people on whatever transaction that is happening when XRP becomes a blockchain a payment solution for everybody in the world. You see, so to me, importance of education is actually something that is supposed to stay with us, within us, knowing that education is important, which has been made very, very easy nowadays. Thank you.
No, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for that, Vengie. And yeah, it's really great. That you've been teaching people in South Africa and the broader Africa about blockchain. And now, after a few years, people are starting to see it in mainstream news. And I think that is such a cool thing to witness. Yeah, no, education is great. Brian, please give us your view on the global education system.
Yeah, and thank you guys for those are fantastic comments. I would just highlight everything that Chris and Vengie said is so important, and just kind of the underpinning of all of this is that the greater knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that each of you gain supports your lifelong journey. This is going to help you get a better paying job, to start your own company, to create an innovation, to think of something out of the box. Having that education is a stepping stone to get you guys to that next level. And that is why we love the Phēnix X platform, because it's designed from the very beginning on a solid foundation, a rock solid foundation. It's been designed to open up those educational opportunities. As we mentioned, it has 2 accelerometers built into the device, so that when you are in the virtual reality education side of it, which, when you go through that level of training, your retention is 40% greater. You're going to hold on to what you've learned for a longer amount of time and for a more impactful way of remembering it and learning it. And so it just helps you. It helps you. It helps your life. The thing, Paul, that really excites me is I would love to put a number in future AMAs. Let's devise a system to come up with a metric, to come up with a number. And in that number, I would love to know the economic impact of the Phēnix X in South Africa, in Zambia, in Nigeria, in Kenya, in all these places. I would love to see the economic impact. That is, how many new jobs were created, how much more salary was gained through the device. The beauty of the technology as well is, there's a lot of, as you guys know, a lot of fake stuff on resumes and so forth. So that has to be kind of weeded out, so that candidates who are vying for a position can get, the best amount of money possible and not waste the time of the employer or waste their own time. And so one of the the facets of what we're building is the ability to record on the blockchain the classes, the certifications, the things that were learned while using the Phēnix X. And this is 100% attributable to the person. And we have technology to make sure that this is the case. So on the blockchain will be this certificate that says, yes, you completed the Web3 classes. You have a certificate in Web3. And when the employer looks at that, they'll say, oh, yes, you are knowledgeable of Web3. I see that here on the blockchain. It's verifiable. And boom, you get a better paying job. This is exactly what we want to see. So globally, Paul, where we see this affecting every person is when you use the device, you take the classes, it's recorded, and an employer can see that and pay you more for the job that you're doing or the job they want you to do. And making that possible for millions and tens of millions of people, if we can do that, we've done our job well. And we would love to see that in every country. And Paul, let's put a metric around this. Let's put a metric around how much economic impact this is giving to each country. Wouldn't that be nice? Thank you, Paul.
Yeah, that's really great. And one thing that we've mentioned, and of course, we as BitMobile, we talk about education, but we're also bringing a solution to it. So we're always mentioning our Phēnix X smartphone device. And the reason why we are chatting now about education is that we are trying to improve the education across Africa. And that's why we're so well aligned with Vengie, is that our intent is the same. It's 100% the same. So we've been chatting about the Phēnix X, but Brian, Chris, can you just give us a bit of insight as to what about the Phēnix X helps with education?
Why don't you jump in first on this one, Brian?
Yeah, thank you, Paul. I think along the lines of what I'm talking about there in that prior question, and what we would like this audience to know, and let's keep in mind, a part about what we do here as a community, what we do here together as a team, we're all part of the same team, right? We're working together to do something magnificent in each of these countries and around the world, is we want this educational opportunity to be for every person. I can't think of one person that should be excluded, not one single person. Every single person should have this opportunity. And by making this available, it becomes a human choice, by the way, right? You guys know the saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you're not going to make that horse drink the water. You can lead it to the water. Certainly, that's easy to do, but the horse has to drink. And in the case of what we're talking about here, we're providing a platform that is designed from the ground up, from a rock solid foundation for every person to take advantage of. In fact, we try to make it as easy as possible. Where we work with Vengie is amazing. Where we work with Vengie, we work with people like Vengie in many different partnerships and industries. There's content, there's information available that we are packaging up. We're making it simple to access. One thing I would highlight is we talk about the device. The device is hardware, physical hardware, and it's also software. So the engineering behind this is like two different mindsets. Somebody that has to think about the hardware, like how did we come up with putting two accelerometers in the device? One of them, honestly, is not enough, but almost every device on Earth just has one single accelerometer. Almost every one. But we figured out to make this better, to make it right for the people that need to learn, especially with complicated fields like HVAC-R. Imagine going into a large machine and fixing something that is going wrong with the pressurization of chemicals. You got to have tools, you got to have knowledge, you got to know exactly how the chemical is treated in this environment. So many variables that you got to pull together to make a decision in like an area of refrigeration. But that's exactly what the device is designed to teach you about, hands-on. So if we think about this, making that information accessible and easy, providing it, serving it up in an easy to way to understand so that the average person can pick it up and start learning. This is critical. This is something that we have to do so that anybody can start to learn, anybody can build their knowledge. And so the hardware, the software is using a concept of artificial intelligence. So the hardware is one thing. We talk about 2 accelerometers. There's also the processor, the memory, the screen size, the battery. All this comes into play. And all that's designed specifically around this. And then you got the software. So in the software, you have artificial intelligence. And that is a vital part about this because in some cases, the student is trying to find content that we may not have preloaded on the device. But we know that we can get access to that content and serve it up to the student, to the learner properly. And that is why we have built in an incredible AI engine in the EDU, the Phēnix EDU app, which comes preloaded on the device. So between the hardware and the software, and we have a DApp, decentralized application portal. The portal is another content mechanism, a way to serve up this learning content. And that, by the way, that's where you get your rewards. That's where you get the money every month, is in the Phēnix portal. So all of this is designed to support the customer, to support the end user of the device. Hardware, software, and then we built this incredible portal. And these, Paul, all work together for the benefit of the person who bought the device. It's all designed for them. And each component is carefully done to make it easy for them to use. So thank you for that, Paul.
Oh, thanks, Brian. Chris, I would be impressed if you can add anything to that.
Very little, so I'll just make a comment or two and then we'll move on. But what one of the advantages of the Phēnix X is that you don't have to have any technical background to know any of these topics, whether it's Web3, blockchain, digital wallets, or identity, things like that. You don't need to know any of that in order to use the device, right? We've built the EDU portal into the device. Web3 is built into the device, so you don't need to know anything about hardware. You don't need to know how software is developed or made. And this is one of my challenges on the discussions we have every day with our developers on things we want to bring to market. I'm not a developer by trade, so I get through those conversations, but I don't really understand the technical details. But the beauty of the Phēnix is you don't need to, right? You just come in and use it. So someone who's brand new to all of these concepts can get into the EDU portal and learn things like blockchain basics, how to use wallets, what they are, what's a digital identity, how do you protect yourself online, what are some safety things, protocols you should be keeping in mind, and all the way up to how to earn and transact confidently as they learn more. So the portal is designed to be easy. It's designed for the beginner. To Vengie's point earlier, when you needed to have a lot of knowledge to mine Bitcoin and understand how to do it, have the right technology, you had to have everything aligned properly in order to participate. Well, the Phēnix takes all that away. Everything is built in behind the scenes, embedded, not bolted on, and people can use it to their own skill level. As they progress, the content will progress with them. So that's how we make it easy.
Okay, Chris, I'm impressed. You added something to all of that. That's great. I love it. Yeah, beautiful. All right. So now that we've chatted a bit more about the education, another big thing for the Phēnix X, and what also will help a lot of people in Africa, is the monthly rewards. Now, a lot of people hear about monthly rewards, but it can be anything. It can be a coupon code to get 5% discount at your local grocery store, but it's not exactly that. Yeah. So, Chris, Brian, once again, what is the rewards of the Phēnix X?
Paul, I'm going to pull Vengie into this conversation. I think the the rewards are designed to support the community, and they're designed with a community in mind. And so the platform of how education is served up, if there's a fee for education, a lot of it's free content, and it's free by design. But there are some paid content, of course, and as you would imagine, in any educational institution. And so, and that's what the rewards could be used for. They could be used for, buying everyday essentials like food or clothing or education, or to top up your minutes on the phone. But definitely, rewards are a critical component. This is something I would love to talk to Vengie about. One thing, Paul, that I love about what we do is working with our partners and having conversations with them. I've learned so much from Vengie and from his community, and that knowledge, that understanding helps us to improve the Phēnix X and everything we do as we go along. The entire platform is quite sprawling in its uniqueness and how it serves up every person. And the thought behind that comes from many people. Vengie is one that's given us some great ideas from the very beginning, from the initial conversations that we had where we first started to get to know each other. And building on that, all of that helps to create this wonderful thing called the Phēnix X and the whole platform. Even the work that we've done recently to get the tablet to the market. As you guys know, the Phēnix platform now has the phone, the tablet, and the watch. And a little bit of alpha. There's more coming. Imagine this, there's more coming. But Vengie helped to shape our thinking on the tablet after having the phone out and working with him. So this is an important part of it, Paul, is involving and working with the community at every level while this is coming together. It's quite amazing.
Let me just jump in there, Brian. Looking at the points that you actually mentioned, right? So if you look at the education part that we're talking about, it's something that have been, to me, it's kind of been taken away from people, taken away from the community, taken away from the general people. Why? Because it requires you to pay for it, for you to earn it. All right. But now, if you look at it, let's go to the crypto space, the blockchain space that we're talking about. It's something just for somebody to go and Google what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain, what is Web3, is something that might chase a general person away. But now looking at Phēnix X, it makes blockchain and Web3 accessible for beginners. Did you hear that? It makes blockchain and Web3 accessible to beginners. We're talking about beginners. We're talking about people, the general population, the general people. We can't just focus on Africa only. Of course, yes, that's our focal point, right? But if we talk about the world globally, we are at 7% people who knows about crypto. Not 7% people who knows about crypto, 7% people who knows about Bitcoin, which is definitely the blockchain technology. And that 7% actually rose from 3.5% after Donald Trump started talking much about Bitcoin. So you can already figure out where the other massive 3.5% came from, right? So with Phoenix making it accessible, Web3, that's more of a focal point whereby people are starting to learn it and understanding it. So by them doing it, remember now they are not learning about it, but they are learning it because they are getting an early access and an easy access through a device which they are using, which makes it easier. If you want a kid to learn about anything, look how kids they are at games. They are so good with games because it's in a phone that they use every day. So everybody will be forced to access to say, what does this offer? Because it's now on a thing that we are using every day. Which I once said to people to say, I always say this to people to say, "Hey, do you actually know very soon we won't just have these normal phones? Look at Nokia is gone, right? Look at Sony Ericsson is gone. A number of they never catch up with the technology. We've got a Solana phone that many people doesn't know about, which is kind of somewhere there, somehow. That's blockchain, that's crypto. We have got a we have got a Phēnix phone that is already there, which have got access that anybody, it is affordable, anybody can be able to access it, isn't it? Which have got things which are pre-installed already with the tutorials that are easy for one to follow up, which makes me to go back. When we talk about this crypto, it makes me to go back when we created the Big Five token. Most Africans came into the crypto space. I can even mention South America. If they're here, they can tell, they can witness it. They started knowing and understanding crypto through the Big Five token, them buying it and holding it and seeing it appreciating in price. They now started understanding what crypto is. They now started understanding what this blockchain is. They now started understanding what Web3 is, which came as a lesson. The creation of Big Five token came as a lesson. Many people, they are now talking about Web3. Recently in our academy, we actually got somebody who got an offer of a job as a CFO because the job wanted basic qualification for blockchain, which is right now for free on Phēnix X. Blockchain definitely is just Web3 in nowadays, if you look at it. And it's going to keep advancing. You won't need to know the general things. People are shying away from this technology because the moment you talk about it, we can talk about it here right now on Twitter. How many people are going to understand it? But the fact that they have a phone, Phēnix phone, which they are using right now, and seeing that portal, seeing those tutorials that are installed, that are there, which are for free, which is education that we used to pay for. Their phone, they're buying it definitely is cheap, and then they're using it there every day for calls. Because back then we were using the phone for calls only, for communication, for sending SMSs, and for what is called, and for also giving a call, making communication easier. But that's no longer the use case of a phone. A phone, it's a money, it's what is called, it's the internet money downloading thing. That is, if you understand what it is offering. We ain't buying phones for communication anymore. We're buying them for what they offer. When you're buying a phone, you're looking, does it have Facebook installed already? But back then, they used not to have Facebook. And then it coming a time whereby you need to say, does this phone have Web3 tutorials? Does this phone have blockchain tutorials? That time is also coming, which is something that we've been given already. To me, people are learning about it practical. I'll give you an example. The Big Five token introduced people. Now that's how people started going into Bitcoin. Most of them, they didn't even know about Bitcoin. They didn't know about the whole crypto. It's a thing that they knew that is scams due to the way that crypto was introduced to Africa. So to me, what I'm trying to say here, Phēnix is playing a very, very important role that we are probably, even me, I'm failing to explain it to people for them to be able to. Trust me, if we have got 1,000 or 10,000 people or 50,000 people or 1 million people who have got Phēnix phone, it will make it easier for them to understand the Web3. It will make it easier for them to understand the blockchain. It will make it cryptocurrency accessible to anybody, to everybody who's at any age. Because Googling about blockchain, Googling about what is Web3, it chases them away. It makes them, there's so much in explanation that you won't even understand. Just like Googling what is a wallet. But with Phēnix tutorials, seeing a wallet being explained there or being with an exemplar and everything, people will understand it easier than how they can understand it when it comes to when they Google the definition of wallet on or what is called on Google. So there is much of important role that is being played here that many people haven't seen, which many people can still what is called say, oh, I wish I knew. I regret every day for me not exceeding or proceeding mining Doge and mining a BTC on a computer because I used to mine it. Doge is the only one that I ended up selling later on when it reached $1 last time. Remembering that, oh, okay, back then we used to mine Doge on a computer. Where is that computer? This and that, this and that. You get what I'm saying? And by then it was actually a work laptop. I'm thinking how important it was because Doge had gone to $1. Still remember, I even told some of the co-workers and some of the relatives that we introduced to say, this is what you can do. They withdrew. They're like, oh wow, look, I've got money for rent. Look, they didn't have that much because we took it for granted. Just like how we taking Phēnix X for granted. Just like how we taking this technology for granted. People rushes to think about money and monthly rewards. That's what everybody wants. What are those monthly rewards? If you thought much about it, okay. For example, Phēnix Phone gives me, I'm done with the Web3, I'm done with the blockchain tutorials and everything. Let's talk about those rewards, which is something that mostly people focus is, oh, Vengie, what are the monthly rewards? Oh, the monthly rewards is money, it's USDT. Somebody want to quickly turn that USDT to actually crypto is now money. Crypto, you can use it anywhere. You can go to Pick and Pay. You can go anywhere. Just like how you can have credits here with Phēnix, whereby you can get a 5% discount and this and that. This is what people are looking for. Just that. Yes, it makes life easier and everything. To me, I'm not focusing with that. I'm focusing with what does it have for me tomorrow. Phēnix Phone gives me $10. What am I doing with it? What coin can I buy to hold for the 10 years because it's money for free. To me, it's money for free that is just coming. So can I invest it in BTC? Can I invest it in whatever that I can be able to hold in? Because I'm following. What am I following? I'm following the tutorials that Phēnix Phone is teaching me. So if I apply those tutorials, we've got everything in one place. So this is very important. So introducing Web3 to people in such a simpler way, practically, that's what is needed. Those, to me, that's a value that you can never get anyway. That's a value whereby most people, back then, everybody who's here, we paid a lot of money to be where we are right now, to be able to handle the profession that we are right now. That's my contribution.
Oh, thanks for that, Vengie. That's great. I love it. That's that, and you literally hit the nail on the head. You know, you don't need to use the rewards generated by the Phēnix X for for bread or milk. You can use it as, if you're very disciplined, you can use it to do your dollar cost averaging on any token that you want, and that is definitely an investment into your future. So yeah, Chris, do you have anything to add to that?
I don't know what I can add to that other than to say thank you, Vengie, for such a great endorsement of the Phēnix and what we're trying to do. Thank you for recognizing that and sharing it with the community. So I think in the interest of time, Paul, we should just keep moving forward.
Okay, awesome. So just in with that vibe and everything that we've just shared, especially when it comes to discipline, how can knowledge, wisdom, and understanding help build this generational wealth for communities? And also, since we do have the Phoenix Lock software, how does that also support with wealth management?
That is a big topic, Paul. We could do an AMA on that one on its own. But protecting digital assets is a big part of the knowledge base and what you can learn through the Phoenix. And through Vengie's point, as you learn more and you take those rewards or any other earnings and you can use them to generate wealth for yourself in the future. It takes time, right? Nothing happens overnight. And if someone tells you that, you buy this today and tomorrow you're going to be a millionaire, you should probably do your research on that and be very, very cautious. But building wealth starts with knowledge. And through that knowledge, the more you learn, it becomes part of what you are and who you are and what you know. So that becomes wisdom, right? Knowledge becomes wisdom over time. And that wisdom contributes to protecting and building assets. So in protecting assets and protecting information and identity, you mentioned Phēnix Lock, Paul, and that is something that we developed with those thoughts in mind, protecting information, protecting assets. Those who may not be familiar with Phēnix Lock, but Phēnix Lock is a secure, distributed capability that we have built, which is available through the Phēnix portal and through the Phēnix X. And it operates a little bit differently than traditional storage. So in our minds, we're like, okay, how can we help people secure their identities and their information? So plenty of databases out there today. You talk about Amazon, you talk about Apple and so forth. They take your data, they encrypt it, and they store it for you. That's what they do. We do it a little bit differently because we want people's data to be super secure, extra secure. So what we've done through Phēnix Lock is we take the data that you store, whether it's your educational information, whether it's seed phrases, wallet numbers, family photos, could be anything that you value. When you store it in Phēnix Lock, it gets encrypted and then it gets broken up into pieces and distributed across multiple databases. What that does is it protects you or the user in the event any one particular database is compromised. As unlikely as that is, it does happen, and we hear about it periodically that databases are hacked into. With our solution, with that distributed philosophy, there's just a piece of unusable encrypted data there that a person who could hack into that database, if they can get in there, they can't use it. There's nothing that they can use. It's a piece of something. One of the things we like to talk about, or I've mentioned before on these calls, is imagine a China cup. You break it and you hide the pieces in different places. Well, you find one, it's really not usable. There's nothing you can do with it. You need to find all of them and know how to put them back together. And that's in concept what Phēnix Lock does to secure people's data and information. So it's a really a fantastic solution. But the second benefit of that, or a second benefit, is that we have built into it the ability to make what we call an endowment. So if I wanted Paul to have access to my information in the event something happens to me, I can list Paul in through the endowment center of Phēnix Lock, and I set a date. I have a date there in Phēnix Lock that says, if I don't reset this date, by the time it hits and expires, an email goes out to Paul and he knows that he's got access to my data. So think about the power behind that. Not only can you secure things that are important to you, but you can have it go to someone that you designate in the event something happens to you. So at a predetermined time. So that is the real power behind this. So right now, if I have something in an online database and something happens to me, if I haven't given my access credentials to someone, that's going to be stored in there forever. With the Phēnix Lock Endowment Center, I can give Paul or someone, my attorney, a friend, family member. I can make them I can list them to get my endowment and get my information, but they have no access to it unless that date expires, and then they get a notification that they can have access to it. So it's a great way to secure your data without giving access to it. And that helps you build knowledge and helps you build your wealth over time by protecting it and knowing that it can be accessed by someone in the event something happens to you. Thanks, Paul.
Yo, Chris, that's actually the best explanation I've heard about the Phēnix lock, and I'm impressed. That's really, really good. I love it. Yeah, just for the sake of time, there's two more topics that I want us to handle, and then we can jump into questions. So if someone has a question, just get ready, raise your hands along, or just indicate. But first of all, I would just like to know, is there any new partnerships that we have in the pipeline to add more educational content, rewards programs, or features to the Phēnix X platform?
Yeah, I'll jump in on this one and then have Vengie say a few words. I think this is such an exciting question because we were reminded here as we're going along. Well, like on my screen, I get these alert messages. So we have an alert that came out from one of our amazing community, Dr. Catherine. She has raised a vitally important point. So some of our team have actually, including Dr. Catherine, have actually been over to this Witwatersrand postgraduate school. The students that are over at the university there have the Phēnix X in their hands. They've endorsed the phone. So this is one of Africa's top universities. And they have endorsed the phone. They have been working with the phone. This kind of goes along with the idea of having, a code fest in Cape Town during the first quarter of 2026, this upcoming first quarter. Being able to open up the platform, the APIs, the capability to students, to generalists, to technicians, entrepreneurs, innovators, that they can help develop the next generation, the next oncoming generation of Web3, DeFi, decentralized finance, these Web3, these decentralized applications, biometrics, hardcore educational content, artificial intelligence, building this into the device. So this team that we're working with at the university, this is the kind of thing that they're looking at. They're looking at the next generation. And with the Code Fest that we're planning, we will communicate that widely. We'll involve Vengie and his community and so many other people. And Paul, that is where your future applications, your future partners are going to stem from. You're going to find that by having this type of an event, you'll see many people pop in from all over Nigeria, Kenya, Botswana, Tanzania, Zambia. They'll be all from all over the place. They'll pop in, they'll attend that, they'll develop this incredible technology, and there'll be winners. People will get cash prizes. They'll make money by coming to the event. And we'll have great partners that are there that help showcase all of this technology. And Paul, this is super exciting. It's something that we would love to see Vengie's community rise up and be part of that event and help build the next generation of technology for the Phēnix platform. And remember, you've got a phone, you have a tablet, you have a watch, you have other things coming in behind that, some of which we will make available and announce during that event. So it's super exciting. This is where you're going to get a lot of your partners and a lot of the amazing innovation that'll come down the road in the future.
Yeah, looking really forward to that. Thank you so much, Brian. Just a last thing for this AMA, and it's kind of a big thing, and this one is directed at Vengie. Vengie, so you can partly pay for the Phēnix X with the BFT, the Big Five token, which is something that you are heavily involved in, well, one of the founding members for it. For someone that's buying the Phēnix X with BFT, what is one key educational benefit or feature that you would like to highlight for them?
Okay, great. So to me, remember, we still on the steps of learning, right? We still in the steps of as much as we teach people crypto, we want to bring in everything for them to understand. But again, it's a step by step. Nowadays, we're no longer teaching people what is Bitcoin, what is blockchain, because it's things that are done already. Practical, like what I mentioned, the creation of BFT, it actually opened so many people's eyes to say, oh, okay, this is the crypto. You understand? Now they comparing BFT to BTC, right? The comparing is not like to say they're the same, but for them understanding, right? Remember, we always saying crypto is a currency, crypto is money. So introducing BFT token to be a payment mode when you're purchasing Phoenix phone, partly payment mode when you're purchasing phone, it fulfills the education we're teaching people to say, this is a mode of payment. This is crypto, which is also a store of value. In a longer time frame, as you buy and hold or keep, the use cases, the people buying it, purchasing a phone, all those transactions happening every day, that's where the value comes from. Crypto is not just something that is just created there and then just starts adding value. It adds value from the community. What does the community look at? They look at the characteristics, what the project is offering, what is it doing in the space for me to be able to have it. Oh wow, I've we have got a blockchain phone that offers tutorials. I want to make sure my kids have got this phone to learn about these tutorials about blockchain, because their basic entry for a job or their basic survival mode in the world is going to be crypto. So I need them to learn about Web3, about blockchain on Phoenix. What do I need? Oh, I need BFT. Can you see where the demand is coming from? Oh, I need BFT for me to be able to purchase this. Oh, okay. I took BFT, I purchased the phone. So this means crypto is not just like anything. It's the person that is now thinking, looking at those processes that happened, because we're trying to make it easy every day. Oh, I took BFT, I purchased a phone online because we live in an online world. Oh, okay. So this is a currency, actually, which is also a store of value. So to me, the biggest feature or the biggest benefit on people to me is it's the education, knowing and understanding what is this crypto, whereby when we are approaching the whole crypto market, we've got things that we look into to say, oh, okay, I'm comparing this project with BFT because this is what BFT does. Oh, wow. Okay, Solana actually does more than BFT. So let me choose Solana other than BFT, as an example, right? So to me, that's one of a bigger step that Phoenix and BFT have taken to take the education or to take this adoption or to educate people about blockchain. To me, I clap hands for that. It's only left to the community to understand the do's and the don'ts, to understand what value comes out of this. Thank you.
That is such a great answer. Thank you so much, Vengie. And we are a bit over time today, and it's, well, I mean, we've only scratched the surface of education and the topic, really. So yeah, this was really, really good. We have time for about 2 questions. So if anyone wants to ask a question, please request to speak, and I will pull you up. And while we wait for them, Vengi, when it comes to education at the moment, what is the most exciting topic or specific part of a subject that you're talking about at the moment?
Come again. I didn't really hear you.
What is the most exciting thing when it comes to education that you're teaching about at the moment?
The exciting thing right now is that many people, if not all of them, they are now involving their hands or their everyday life. They now knowing and thinking about crypto, though not many are aware how to do it and what value does it offer to people. So we're still on that aspect, which takes us back again for them to understand how blockchain was created, how the Web3 is being groomed. Because Web3 right now, to me, is still at an early stage. So people are still also need to understand that what future value does it have. So to me, mostly, I focus much about what I call in general market update. When it comes to the market update, I'm looking at the history, where crypto is coming from, where we are right now, which I call everybody to say, hey, can't you see that you are late? Or you are late, right? So the focus mainly is on advising people how late they are and advising people on the general market to say, this is what is going to happen because this happened. Actually, it doesn't work on history. It just works on the blockchain technology on its own, because the blockchain technology on its own, it shows you value. The moment you learn about it and understand it, it shows you value. Whereas if you go to the Web3, it actually shows you massive value the moment you just learn the system, the tech, how it was created, and how it's supposed to work. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's very, very interesting. Thank you so much. And yeah, I don't see anyone requesting to speak. So yeah, this was great. I think we should do this again. And it's almost time for Christmas. It's a week from now. It's the 25th of December. So this is quite interesting. Tomorrow, we have our end of year spaces where we will discuss what's happened this year, what we're looking forward to next year. So please, if you would like to know what our plans is for the next year and all the interesting stuff that we've done this year, please join for tomorrow. It's around the same time as today. And yeah, it's going to be great. So Chris, Vengie, Brian, any closing remarks that you'd like to do? Let's start with Chris.
I want to thank Vengie for joining us today. Thanks a lot, Vengie. It's always a pleasure having you with us. And to share with the audience, if I had a chance to jump in on that last question that Paul, you asked about what's exciting in the educational space, what I would say to the folks listening in is, we have a lot. What's exciting for me is the access and bringing access to people. So stay tuned for things in the new year, including things like more educational content and certifications, expanded rewards programs and earning programs, new partnerships focused on jobs and community growth. And my last comment on it would be early adopters are probably going to benefit more as the ecosystem grows. So don't wait to get in. It fits exactly with what Vengie was saying. The earlier you get in on these things, the better. So thanks again, Paul. Thanks everyone for joining us. That's my comments for today, and we'll see a lot of you tomorrow.
Thank you, Chris. Brian, please.
Yeah, thanks, Paul. I would echo all of that. And just as a reminder, this AMA tomorrow, at the same time, this is going to be our last AMA of the year. And I would encourage each of you to attend that. We're going to go through a bit of a look back on 2025. What happened during the year? Where did we start? What did we do? To kind of give a summary of that, and then set a springboard for 2026. What's coming up in the first quarter? We talked about the Code Fest in Cape Town. I think that's a very important event to get people prepared for, especially entrepreneurs, innovators, developers, people that are really interested in adding on and building on this platform. That's a great way to earn some money and get some exposure and get your products into market. What a great way to do that. This whole conversation on education, Paul, we are going to have to do more of these. I think, talking to Vengie is always a pleasure. The Big Five community, what a fantastic community. And we have many people here with lots of communities represented. Constellation Network is a very interesting community that we're doing a lot of work with on the Layer Zero blockchain. There's a lot happening in that space, by the way. That'll spill into the end of this year and into early 2026. You'll see a lot of press release and a lot of things going on there. And just the overall number of partners is going to accelerate as we go into 2026 across multiple countries. I would remind people to take a look at the there was a massive press release that went out just a couple of weeks ago that outlined the 9 countries, which is 10 countries, growing very rapidly across the continent of Africa that will accept the Phēnix X phone, tablet, and watch, and everything else coming behind that. Please keep an eye on these press releases and social media. We will share all these things out there. It's a lot of activity, and now's the time to really pay attention as we go into next year. This thing is moving very fast across a lot of different countries. Now's the time to get in. Make sure you get a device. There's so much to do with education, and and Paul, what'll be nice is to have people who've actually improved their lives with it and get them on here and have them talk. Some of them I would encourage to reach out to, Paul, would be like the scholarship recipients. For those of you that know or didn't know about this, we've been working with the HVAC-R EDU, the largest educational provider of heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration education in the world. They have their modules on the Phēnix X, and we've been giving away scholarships. I believe a person has actually completed the certificate courses, and we need to get them on, Paul, and have them talk to the community. They should be out there working in the field right now. That'd be a great conversation to have. And there's others that are going through the program right now. They would be great to talk to. So we're really excited about that. Those recipients of the scholarship got a free Phēnix X. They got a free phone along with a free education. So they didn't have to pay for any of it. We're very excited about that. We'd love to have them talk about that. But there's a lot of great stuff going on. I just want to say thank you, Vengie. Thank you so much to your community and all those with ears to hear. This is a great conversation today. We really thank you guys so much.
Thanks, Brian. Vengie, you've got the honor of the last word.
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, to me, what it was an exciting armor, and so much was shared. Those who can hear and those who want to apply, you can. But trust me, those ones who are ignoring and those ones who are not taking part of this, you just at the end like to say, I wish I was. You understand? I wish I was part of this, because it will be too late, as it is getting late and late and late every time. But in everything that you do, just know that you take the education process, which is being made easy and easy. And I'm so grateful for what is called for God making us have a partnership with Phēnix, because to me it opened other avenues. It opened people's mindset, understanding how crypto works and everything. So yeah, wishing a very good partnership, especially 2026. I think on my side, of which I think everybody, we're going to work extra hard to make sure that's our year of achieving. We've been building and building and building. So we also need to have a time whereby we'll be saying, oh, wow, let's look back. And this is where we are. And that year, I think, is 2026. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And that concludes this space. Thank you, everyone, for joining in. And I do hope to see you tomorrow. We've got some cool announcements to make. And we're running some special sales this December period. And for those that I do not see, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and God bless.